This video is going to be a short walkthrough of some example tasks which will help you to prepare for your music theory exam and to familiarise yourself with the notation software which is used within it. So the first example task at grade 2 is to write an ascending scale or arpeggio which uses accidentals, and then to try this descending and using a key signature instead of accidentals. So first, if we did want to add a key signature, we just make sure that we're in the measure tab up here. So once you've clicked on that, you'll see this button for key signatures, and in opening that you can select different key signatures and you'll see them appear in the score. So I'll just go back to having no key signature there. So if we wanted to start adding notes into the score, go into the Note tab and select the note value that you want to input. So you can click on different ones here, but we're going to use quarter notes for this exercise. So we've clicked on that, and then when you hover over the score, you'll see the different pitches appear, and then you can click them into the score like this. So I'll write out a scale here. Now once we've gotten to the end, if you want to remove an extra bar here, you can go back to the Measure tab and click the minus button just here. If you do that, it will remove the bar. Likewise, if you want to remove any notes, you can click on the note that you want to remove. So click on this one here and go to the backspace button up here, which should also work on your keyboard. And then finally, if we want to add a accidental to any notes, you click on the note that you want to add the accidental to. Go to the Note tab up here and select one of the accidentals here. So if I wanted it to be a flat, I click on the flat button, and if you click it multiple times, it will cycle through the options until you've got no accidental there again. The second example task at grade 2 is to write a chord using whole notes and to make sure that all of the notes are stacked on top of each other when doing this as well. So once again, we'll make sure that we're in the Note tab and that we've selected the note value that we want, so we can click on different ones here, but we're going to use whole notes. And then we'll hover over, we'll see all the pitches, and if we want to click one in, click it in like that. And then you'll see the notes appear, and if we want to remove this extra bar, we can go up to the Measure tab and click the minus button there. The third example task at grade 2 is to add a dynamic marking to a bar of music followed by a crescendo or diminuendo. So to start off with that, we want to click on the note under which we want the dynamic marking to appear. So we've clicked on that half note there. And we go up to the Dynamic tab up here, click on that, and then you can select from one of these dynamic markings here. So if we click the F there, you'll see it appear underneath the score. And then if you want to add a crescendo or a diminuendo, you can click here and drag to adjust the distance of it. So the fourth example task at grade 2 is to write a short phrase into a bass clef using eighth notes, eighth note rests, quarter notes and quarter note rests. So to start off with that, we just want to make sure that we're in the Note tab up here and that we've selected the note value that we want to use. So we're going to use quarter notes for this first note, and then when we hover over, we'll see the different pitches appear and we can click those into the score like that. And then here we can jump back up and change note value again. So we go for eighth notes and we'll enter 2 eighth notes there. So if we want to convert any of those into rests, we can click on the note that we want to convert to a rest. So click on this one here and then go up to the cross button up here, which if we click, it will convert to an eighth note rest. And then likewise, if we did it again for this quarter note, that would convert to a quarter note rest. The fifth example task at grade 2 is to write a short phrase which includes slur, tenuto and staccato notation, and then to try adding an accent to one of those notes as well. So if we first just start off by making sure that we're in the note tab at the top, and then we've selected the note value that we want, so let's go for eighth notes or quavers here. And then if we hover over and click those in at the pitches that we'd like, we can do that. And then if we want to add any articulations to those, we can click on the note that we want to add them to, like that, and then go to the articulation tab at the top here. And here you can select to add an accent. So if you click on that, the accent will appear. If you click it again, it will go away. And then likewise for tenuto and staccato notation there. And then if you want to add a slur, you can click on that just here and you'll see the line appear. If you do need to drag it out to different lengths, you can do so just by clicking and holding and dragging it along. So the sixth example question for grade 2 involves adding drum notation. Now in the exam you'll be presented with a drum stave to add the notation into, but for the purpose of practicing in advance you'll need to add one by going up here, clicking on this icon, then going to manage instruments, and then if you go to add an instrument and under percussion you'll see drum set, and once we've got that added we can get rid of the bass clef from before and click done, and now we've got the drum stave here. So if we wanted to start by adding some eighth note hi-hats, we'd go up here and select the eighth notes, and then we can hover over and input those like that. And now if we wanted to add some bass drum and snare below, we can go up to the voice tab here, and if you select use voice to, that will give you access to this lower voice here, which makes sure that the note stems go in the right direction. So again, we'll make sure that we're on the right note value. We're already using quarter notes here, so we'll use those. We'll hover over, you can click those in like that. And now if we wanted to convert one of those hi-hats to a crotchet, we could go back up to the use voice one, which will give us access to these hi-hats again. Click on the one we want to edit, and then click on the button just here and you'll see that convert. As with the previous notation examples, you can also click on areas that you want to remove and then use the cross button up here and that will remove them. So the last example task at grade 2 is just to add some flam notation to a snare note. Now to do this we first want to just make sure that we've clicked on the note that we want to add it to, so click on that one there, and then we need to go up to the note tab and click this button here, which will just give us access to a few more features, and then if we click here you'll see the flam notation added.